Hi boys and girls, I'm going to make this video a little shorter. I'm mainly just going to show you the answers and you can pause the video to check yours. Last week we were doing settings and events and stories. This is lesson 8. And if you'll notice on this first page, these are the things that I underlined that I thought were really important. It talks about problem solution, it talks about what events are, and it mentions the setting. Then on this side, remember we were talking about these two pictures. Here is what the chart should say. Yours should be close to this if it's not exact. The next lesson was meeting grandma. The close reader habits said, underline details that tell you about the story setting and events. These are the ones that are the most important, if you just want to compare yours to this. And in the chart, you can see here, let me back it up where you can see everything. Okay, the next lesson is baseball lessons, and the close reader habit says, what is Jorge's attitude toward Elena at the beginning of the story? Why does it change? Reread the story, underline details that show why Jorge's attitude toward Elena changes. So we have some from the beginning where he doesn't want her to play to the end where now all of a sudden she can play well, and the middle part is telling how that happened. Okay, for your answers on page 125, you see C and E, and then for number 2, it is B. Let's go over to page, oops, hang on, I forgot to do the short response for meeting grandma. The short response for meeting grandma said, describe the way the setting of meeting grandma affected the characters and events. Okay, so here is a sample response. The setting is a very hot day at the airport. The kids in the story have never been to an airport, so they are excited. Since it's so hot, they beg for smoothies. When their parents buy smoothies for them, they take their time drinking them and lose track of time. Meanwhile, their grandmother's plane lands and she comes looking for them, worried that they were lost. Okay, for baseball lessons on 127, if you'll look there, we do have a chart there, and I filled that part in, if you just want to compare yours to that. And basically you just use the chart that's showing first, next, and last of the story to answer this question. Describe the events that lead to a change in Jorge's attitude toward Elena. Okay, here's a good sample response. In the beginning of the story, Jorge and Hector will not let Elena play baseball with them. Elena complains to Abuela that no one will teach her how to play. So Abuela, a good ball player herself, takes on the task. After a few weeks of practice, Elena shows off her new skills by catching a fly ball, and Jorge welcomes Elena to the game. Okay, your last lesson in this passage is King Lear. And let's get over to our questions on 131. You can see the answers here. 132, you can see the answers here. (133), there is a short response. Let me read the one from the teacher book. And yours doesn't have to be exactly like this, of course. By vowing, oh, I'm sorry, let me read what the question was. What conclusions can be drawn about King Lear's experiences with his 3 daughters? What lesson did he learn? Use details about events from the story to support your response. Okay, by vowing they love him dearly, Goneril and Regan trick King Lear into giving them his kingdom. He sends Cordelia away because he's disappointed in her expression of love. Soon Goneril and Regan show their true feelings by treating Lear cruelly, and he realizes why they have changed. The story says, and this is in quotes, Lear saw what they really wanted was to drive him away. End quote. Cordelia rescues him and takes him in, even though he had mistreated her, by her actions. Cordelia shows she truly loves him. He learns that people's actions are truer proof than the words they speak. Oh, I like that. Okay, guys, this next week, you should be working on the next lesson, which is determining the theme of a story. You can see I underlined some things here that remind you what a theme is. It's a message or a lesson an author wants you to learn. And remember, it usually isn't just stated. You have to infer the theme. You have to read carefully the words in the passage, add that to your experiences or to what you already know, and then you come up with an inference, which means you have inferred what the author is trying to say. Have a great week.